Alright, so it's been forever since I've been here. I know it's been a long time. So I want to tell you what really pisses me off. Bad service at restaurants. Now this is going to cover all types. Fast food and regular restaurants. Alright, I'm going to cover fast food first. Alright, so my mom was in the drive thru one time with my brother and I. And my mom ordered two meals. My brother's double whopper with cheese, no pickles, and my chicken tenders because I like chicken tenders back then more than burgers. Okay, so the lady was supposed to take the order, and she said, "Can you repeat that?" My mom said, "No." Then she said, "Then you won't get your food," and said that in a really snippy voice. My mom backed out of the drive-through, and my brother's like, "Come on, mom." And my mom said, "She said I won't get my food." And to be honest, when you say that in a really snippy voice, it shows that you're actually bad at customer service. And your customers are the reason that you're even making money. And if you treat your customers like that, that's one quick and easy way to show that you lack customer service experience. Because I would know because I've been in customer service. I worked in customer service more than once. I've had three jobs in the past 10 years, and I'll get to that in a minute. Now, the second time we got bad service was at a McDonald's, I think, and my mom had a 5 minute. I'm not sure if it was. I think it might have been actually at Subway. So my mom was ordering a sandwich, and they said, "What do you want from me?" And my mom said ham, and they said, "What?" And then she said ham, and she said, "What?" And she said ham, and then she said, "What?" Ham. Do you need a fucking hearing aid? Pardon my language. Do you need a hearing aid? Obviously, you're giving bad customer service as well. You're paid to make food. You're not paid to ask a million questions. You say ham four times and you still don't understand? If someone speaks, listen for once. Holy shit. Sorry, this might have some profanity in it, but seriously, people need to not lack customer service experience. You're paid to make food that customers pay for so you can make money. Dude, people like that should be reported to the manager. All right, let's think. So the third time was at McDonald's. My mom had a woman who my mom was paying had a 5 minute argument with my mom at the drive-through. How? How is this possible? Oh, jeez. Now, now that's happened. That was years ago, many years ago. That happened many years ago. Um, and then let's see. And then there was a third time, but this time was kind of funny. This was at the Burger King that my mom went to. That my mom had one bad service with already. This was the second one, but it was kind of funny. This one was my mom ordered my brother's double whopper with cheese, no pickles, and my brother likes pickles, but just not on a burger. So then the dude asked two large milkshakes, and then my mom said no, and then reordered it, and he said, "Can you speak up? I can barely hear it." Then my mom reordered, but then he finally got the order. So is that, and then another time. Yeah, it was at Jack in the Box. This was back in 2014, 15, something like that. I think it was 2014. So my mom ordered two meals, I think, and she asked. So she ordered a Dr Pepper, but I said no, root beer, and she said, "What drink is that? What drink is that? What drink is that? What drink is that?" And he said, "Can you speak up, ma'am? What drink is that?" And he said, "That's root beer you ordered," because he must have heard me say root beer, because my brother doesn't like Dr Pepper, he likes root beer. And then she said, "Can we get ketchup, ketchup, ketchup?" And then I said ketchup, and then he said, "Could you speak up?" And then she said, "This is the lousiest service I ever got." And he said, "Well, maybe you speak up. I can give you better service." Rule number one: if you talk that way to your customer, that's another thing saying that you lack customer service experience. Seriously, you're hired to make food and not to give bad service. But yeah, he was a total dick. I was about ready to get out of there and get out of the car and go tell him that he's an asshole. Pardon my language. I really don't like to cuss anymore since I opened up more to Jesus. But seriously, that kind of customer service, like for example, and then today actually we went to the same Burger King, but we went inside, and it was taking them forever. So my mom just turned around and walked out. Instead, we went to the fast food restaurant I work at, which is Dairy Queen, and they took the order right like this. It was busy, so it took them a while to make our order, but that's how fast the order was taken. Just like that. And I work there 3 days a week, but I work 16 hours a week, so, you know. Alright, I'm going on to other restaurants. Excuse me. One time, a lady, my mom told her to box up my steak, right? I forgot two DVDs in the store, so we went in the restaurant, so we went back to go pick them up. And she said, I think I forgot something. She said, yes, you did. So we picked that up. And my mom said, why didn't I get my food boxed up? And she said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And my mom said, that's okay. But when she got out of the restaurant, she said, no, it's not. And I said, why? And she said, not hearing that is not an excuse. Well, she said, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. And my mom said outside, not hearing that is not an excuse. Because, well, if you don't hear someone, but also, you're supposed to pay attention to the customer who's asking for a box rather than that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's true. I think not hearing should not be an excuse. But I was a lot younger back then because I hardly touched the steak. I was asking to box up, but then she walked off to help another customer, and I didn't get my steak boxed up like I asked for. And then the fourth time, this happened at the same restaurant. That the second time this happened at that same restaurant, I asked for a box for my fries and everything, and all they boxed up was a little bit of my sandwich. But I was okay with that. I mean, yeah, and then there was another time there was a woman taking orders for everyone, and she had snot dripping out of her nose, sweating, and she was really despicable because she said, "Oh great, now I have to go back to these people about my table, like my mom, my brother, my sister, and everything." And then my brother-in-law got his order wrong twice. My ex-brother-in-law got his order wrong twice, and and then and then they left like eggshells there, and then he said, and he cut open his egg the second time and said, "Oh, it's raw." And he said, "I'm gonna go ask the cook where he learns to cook." And he said, "Hey, where you learn to cook?" And then you can hear every f bomb he's saying. I said, "I had to bring this back 2 effing times." Because he said, "I'm gonna go ask the cook where he learns to cook." And you can hear him all the way back from the table saying, "Where do you learn to cook?" He said, "I'm bringing those back 2 effing times." And then the lady who what the waitress offered him a free beer, but then she thought for his mistake order, and then he went out to go say hello to a lady, and she asked, "Will you complain about me? I'm not giving you your beer after. I'm not giving you beer. I'm not giving you your beer after all, or I'm not giving you back your beer after all," or something like that. And that's one quick and easy way to get you fired. You can actually get fired in Washington for no reason at all, I heard, because this is an at-will state. And then one time, um, what was it? There was one time my mom and I went to my favorite restaurant. It's a shame because the waitress offered us sourdough bread, didn't bring it, and the busboy came to give me more water, and then he slopped the water all over the table, and that's not what a busboy is supposed to do. the Was the table thirsty or is the customer thirsty? Customer's thirsty. Then we went so that my mom wrote it was poor service on the receipt, and then later on There was also another time where there was bad service. Is that they messed up my sister's order twice at a breakfast restaurant, and she had to bring it back into the kitchen and complain. I think that's what her dad did one time. That's what I think my my sisters had had in common with her dad, is that he would go back and complain in the restaurant. I think that's it for now. I think that's all I recall. But okay, so I've worked at three jobs in the past 10 years. I've worked at Costco for 3 years and 3 months. I worked at McDonald's for over 2.5 years. I was 4 months away from my 3 year mark, and I've worked at Dairy Queen for over 2 years. First job, customer service. True, I did struggle a little bit due to autism, but then holding on to a job for 3 years and 3 months is good for a guy permanent, who has autism disorder, minor intellectual disability, ADHD, and the second was McDonald's, where I was a custodian, and the third wa- was was what was it? It was Dairy Queen. I'm actually in the kitchen, but yeah, that's about it for this video. I hate bad service at fast food restaurants and at restaurants. Actually, so the one that happened today at the same Burger King. Two times we were in the drive-thru. This time was in the restaurant because the drive-thru was packed. It was Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving. So my mom and I were going to order, and they were just doing all the other food, and then my mom turned around and walked out, and they said, "I was about to take your order, huh?" And then she said something, and she said shitty service, and the lady sitting at the table said, "I agree," or "That's true." Yeah, you if you're gonna wait that long to take an order, then you obviously shouldn't be working in a fast food restaurant, because the customers are the reasons you're even making money. Well, thank you all for watching. Um, Sorry I haven't been on YouTube as much. I've been going. I have a lot going on in my personal life at the moment, working and trying to figure out some situations. All right, peace.